Pure insanity. That is what Beto O'Rourke has been fighting. Pure insanity. And pure insanity are the words that one of the top officials in the Trump Justice Department used to describe what Donald Trump and his White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, were up to in the final days of the Trump White House when they were trying to overturn the presidential election. We know this tonight thanks to Justice Department emails released by the Democrats in the House Oversight Committee that show Donald Trump trying to force William Barr's successor, Acting Attorney General Jeffrey Rosen, to have the Justice Department join lawsuits to overturn the election. Donald Trump had an assistant email Jeffrey Rosen baseless claims of voter fraud in Michigan that had already been thrown out of court by a judge. And 2 weeks later, Donald Trump had an assistant email a draft brief for the Justice Department to file in the Supreme Court that would ask to nullify election results in 6 swing states that Joe Biden won. That brief was virtually identical to the insane lawsuit filed by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton that was rejected by the Supreme Court already. Acting Attorney General Rosen refused that particular piece of insanity and all of the insanity, which would have been thrown out by the Supreme Court, even if the Justice Department did file it. Emails also reveal that Donald Trump's Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, pressured top Justice Department officials on at least 5 occasions to pursue what one of them called pure insanity. In one email, Mark Meadows sent Jeffrey Rosen a YouTube video link about an Italian contractor using satellites to interfere with U.S. voting machines. Jeffrey Rosen forwarded the email to Acting Deputy Attorney General Richard Donoghue, who responded, quote, pure insanity. Jeffrey Rosen then replied that he refused to arrange a meeting between the FBI and Rudy Giuliani ally Brad Johnson, writing, quote, I learned that Johnson is working with Rudy Giuliani, who regarded my comments as an insult, asked if I would reconsider. I flatly refused, said I would not be giving any special treatment to Giuliani or any of his witnesses, and reaffirmed yet again that I will not talk to Giuliani about any of this. On the same day, Mark Meadows emailed Jeffrey Rosen, quote, there have been allegations of signature match anomalies in Fulton County, Georgia. Can you get Jeff Clark to engage on this issue immediately to determine if there is any truth to this allegation? Jeffrey Rosen forwarded this email to Richard Donoghue saying, quote, can you believe this? I am not going to respond to the message below. Jeffrey Clark, who was then the acting head of the civil division of the Justice Department, had no conceivable jurisdiction over voting issues in Georgia. But as we discovered in January, Jeffrey Clark was in secret communication with the Trump White House, encouraging what the acting attorney general called pure insanity, and was actually expecting Donald Trump to remove the acting attorney general and give him the job of acting attorney general. Put Clark in there as acting attorney general. Republicans are very disappointed that all of that pure insanity did not work, and the real winner of the presidential election was inaugurated as the 46th president of the United States. And so Republicans in state legislatures are doing everything they can to put pure insanity into election law so that it will work exactly the way they want it to work next time. Republicans in several states are making it as difficult as possible to vote in the Democratic areas of those states, but they are also concentrating on what happens after people vote. Republicans are changing the rules of vote counting in some states. Republicans in Georgia reduced the influence of the Secretary of State after Georgia's Secretary of State refused to, quote, find 11,780 votes. The words of Donald Trump on the phone to him after the election. The Texas legislature is attempting to change the aftermath of voting in Texas in ways that could allow Republicans to change the outcome of elections and turn Republican losers into winners against the will of Texas voters. Today, a group of Texas Democrats who blocked that legislation by walking out of the House chamber last month were in Washington today to beg House and Senate Democrats to pass federal voting rights legislation to help them fight voter suppression efforts by Republicans. They made their pitch at a lunch with Senate Democrats and met privately with other Democratic lawmakers. Among the Senate Democrats they came to see was West Virginia Democrat Joe Manchin, who was not present at the lunch for Senate Democrats, nor did he personally meet with the group of Texas Democrats, but some of those Democrats were able to secure a last-minute meeting with members of Joe Manchin's senior staff. At a press conference today with House Democrats and those Texas Democrats, Speaker Nancy Pelosi said this.
This is an all-out assault. An all-out assault. I mean, it's just really hard to understand how they could cook up so many various ways to come at a person's right to vote, but they did. And in H.R. 1, we have a correction for most of that, but not all. And then in H.R. 4, we go even further.